Day 7 quarantine from this coronavirus. We're gonna do OBX long tube headers and a full fast intentions exhaust. Once this car's done, we're gonna go have it dyno tuned and see what it'll make. I'm gonna put the camera down, we're gonna start it up, see what it sounds like stock, and we'll compare it later on once it's done. Okay, we're gonna stop by getting the car up on jack stands. This car should be fairly easy. It only has 9,000 miles on it. It's pretty much brand new. Alright, now that we got it up on the stands, probably gonna pull the front tires off, front bumper, intakes, get everything out of the way, and I'll probably start pulling the exhaust off before I do the headers. Now that we got the intakes off, the front bumper, front wheels, I'm gonna work on taking the whole stock exhaust off because that's the easiest part before we start to take off the cats and then the stock headers. Alright, we got the full stock exhaust off the car. There's 4 nuts in the back. Drop the brackets to hold the muffler. 2 nuts right there. 2 nuts holding that bracket. And then the 4 that hold onto the cat. Start removing the cats. Stop by taking the bracket off here. Unplugging the O2 sensors, getting them out of the way so you don't ruin that. There's a light down here, but there's only 1 bolt from the bottom. The other 2 are from the top, which are a pain. Excuse my language. Alright, we got the passenger side cat off. Wasn't too bad. One on the top left is the one you get from here. The other 2 you have to get from the front side of the car. The top one on the right I got with an extension from the top of the car. And the bottom one I got from the inside of the fender. Put my air ratchet right inside there. And the hole came right out. Mind you, this car only has 9,000 miles, so it's not really much rust or rot on anything. I decided to just keep going on the passenger side. I got the heat shield off. There's 4 10mm bolts on it, and then you can drop it down through the bottom. You need to get that off so you can get to the 14mm bolts that are on all the header flanges. Make sure you disconnect the top O2 sensor too, which is back here somewhere. Alright, we got all these bolts out. This header should come right down. A couple of the studs actually came out with the nut, which isn't a problem because we have to move a couple of them anyway. I'm just going to drop this header and then I'll show you what it looks like under there. Now that we got it all disconnected, slide it right out. We got new OEM gaskets. Always use OEM gaskets when you put headers on. The ones that come with it are cheesy. Don't last long. You'll have an exhaust leak within a week. Driver's side, you're going to want to remove that 12mm bolt that holds the steering shaft onto the rack itself. I marked it with a marker. Where the middle is, so when you put it back on, you put it back in the same exact spot it came off, so you don't mess anything up. Same thing on the driver's side, there's 4 bolts, 10 mils. I squeezed it up from the top. I got the 1 bolt on top of the cat, I'm gonna get the other one from the bottom, and then the one on the back. Pull that off, and then we'll pull the driver's header off. There was a 10 mil that was on this wire, and there's a clip on the bottom. If you pull that 10 mil, and pop that clip off. Makes it easier to get everything out. We got the driver's cat out. Thought on getting all the header bolts out. Alright, now that we got all these bolts out that were a pain in the ass, every one of them, I had to use different sockets. See? Now that we got everything out, I'm gonna pull all this stuff out of the box. We're gonna line both exhausts up just to compare them from stock to long tubes with the fastened tensions. Alright, so we're gonna compare the stock to the new setup we're going with. We're gonna swap the O2 sensors over. The top ones you have to either buy O2 extenders. I'm gonna cut and make my own. You can see there's a huge difference between that wide pipe, the size of it, compared to this. This thing's gonna be loud. You have to extend the top O2s because they don't go up here anymore. They go down here. So the wire's not gonna reach up, so you're gonna have to extend them that much. We're gonna swap the O2s over and extend those, and then we'll start to put them back in the car. You also have to get a socket like this, because you have to swap 4 of the studs on each side. On the stock, they go up and down like this all the way, same pattern. But on the new headers, only the front one's like that. You have to swap the back 2 on the same side. There's 4 holes in the block. You just unscrew them, screw them in the right way, so when you put them back on, they line up. Extended 102. I did it by 5 feet. I just got some speaker wire. Bought some Easy Loom from AutoZone. I cut the old sleeve off. Cut it. Bought connectors with heat, shrink wrap, and some zip ties to hold it together after. Better than spending 180 on extenders. This is how I'm extending it. I'm just gonna put the sleeve over it, put some zip ties to hold it. Stop by doing the passenger side because it's the easiest. Can't really see too well. We got that one on. We also got the driver's side in. Just gotta tighten everything now. Just to tighten everything up there, double check everything, and we'll run the O2 wires up out of the way. And we'll start doing the exhaust to the back. Mostly everything's tight. Just double checking everything on the driver's side after I smashed my hand up and lost half my thumb. We're doing alright. I'm gonna start putting the exhaust up. We'll take the existing hangers off the stock exhaust. Up there and right here. Now that we got these big coffee cans hung somewhat, we'll put the next piece on. Get everything bolted up. Just gonna tighten it, make sure the cans are straight. Make sure my boys' cans are straight. Everything's bolted up and tight. We're gonna do the cold start video. See how it sounds. Together. You want to get in the car and start it up?
Yes, sir.